What's up, guys? It's Phoenix, and today I am here to tell you about a story that happened about a week ago, and it was about my first Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. But before this video, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for uploading so little, but it's just with all the Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments every Saturday and stuff, it's hard to keep up building decks, making videos, doing homework, doing school, watching TV, being lazy, being swag, all that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I gotta keep up with my MLG reputation. So, I'm not saying that's more important than YouTube, but I'm just gonna say I'm gonna try to, I don't know, but I'm just gonna upload a video whenever I have spare time or whenever I can, like right now. And let the story begin. Okay, so we just got into the car from my house. We brought Angel, and this was like her second time being in a car. And we were planning to bring her to a dog park afterwards. Sorry guys if I look to the side because my room's really messy, first of all. Second of all, it's hard to think and remember stuff at the same time. So after that, we were driving to the tournament and we were going up, and then when we entered the shop, this is like a local tournament, not like a regional. So we went up and we saw this guy with at his shop, and he told us that every Saturday they had a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. So when he said that, I was interested, and I was so excited getting there. So I saw a few packs on sale that they had, and it was really cool, and there were like posters everywhere, and comics, and a ton of card stuff. And then, when we were just looking around and, organizing our decks. Now, I only brought my deck, and it was mixed. It had 60 cards. I was so... I thought when they said you can only have 40 cards, it's better to keep it at 40 cards, I'd be like, why? If you have so many good cards that link with other good cards, why keep it at 40? But I was mistaken at the tournament, and, yeah, this is what happened. I was organizing my deck, and then these two guys walk into the room, and they're teenagers. Looks like they're gonna be dueling in the tournament, and I was like, yes, so lucky. It was like in the first few minutes that we came, and the guy was like, this one guy both of them had Dark Magician decks, and I always looked at Dark Magicians like, Kuriboh. Now, I'm not saying Kuriboh isn't good, but, just think of the weakest card and replace that with the word Kuriboh that I just... Anyway, I thought Dark Magician wasn't that good because, there were other cards stronger than it that you might have not actually had to tribute summon. So I was like, why have a Dark Magician deck? So, but I didn't say that. So the guy was like, what kind of deck do you have? And I said, Union. And he told me it was called an ABC deck. Then he asked if he can look at my extra deck in my deck. So I let him look at it, and he told me that I had a few really good cards, like Pot of Duality and Platinum or Oracle Herald, I think. So then I knew that those were good cards. So then in 30 minutes of waiting, arrived 5 more people. So one of them was an adult. Another one was a Blue Eyes, just straight up Kaiba guy. And oh right, there was one guy that wasn't dueling. So oh yeah, his friend was and he didn't look very strong. He used a Frightfur deck, I think. But I didn't get to duel him in the tournament, I don't think. So, within an hour, the tournament began, and the winner got like $40 because we all had to pay $5 to get into the tournament. So then, after we got matched up for our first duel, I got matched up with the first guy that came in, the guy with the Dark Magician deck, and I thought this is going to be a breeze. And the guy was like, I saw him talking to his friend next door at the tables, and he was like, I'm gonna get crushed by this kid. And I was like, wow. So then we started dueling. He uses Eternal Soul and wiped me out in at least 10 turns. Whenever I used a spell or trap card, he always had to bring out a 1,000 Knives or Dark Magic Attack. Then he brought out Dark Magicians every turn. It was pretty much invincible, and I was like, what? And then he picked up my deck and said that I had a lot of good cards in there, but I should keep it around 40 cards. So that's when I started thinking about cutting down my deck to 30 cards. 40. So the rules of the tournament were 8,000 life points, you duel 3 times, 1 out of 3, of course. Well, the second duel, actually I overpowered his Eternal Soul and destroyed his life points with all my strongest monsters. But then he destroyed me on the third round, which means that I lost the match. So then, after that, I got matched up with this other guy, and he had a Blue Eyes deck, and I was like, hey dude, what's up? And he's like a really serious silent type, and I'm like, okay, let's duel. And then he starts speaking all this gibberish about all of his dragon shrines and dragon ravines and stuff, and he's like, I activate the effect, special summon from the graveyard, special summon this from my deck, send 1 Blue Eyes from my deck to my hand, then send it back to the graveyard, then send this to the graveyard, and then special summon it to the field. And I was like, what just happened? And then he destroyed me before I knew it. Surprisingly, he didn't have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. That would have been a lot quicker if he did, but there was nothing I could do to defend against the Blue Eyes deck either, and I completely underestimated everyone else at the tournament. Like, he didn't give me any tips or anything, he didn't talk to me after the duel, but then I dueled the other guy with the Dark Magician deck, and I dueled him, and it actually was a pretty slow process. We were dueling, and Eternal Soul, and, I sort of stalled a little. Well, not like pretend to think, but I was trying to keep my life points alive pretty much, but all of them seemed really professional. They had game mats, official game mats, and I was so not ready. I did not know what to expect. I was so nervous that I made a lot of dumb mistakes. And while I was dueling the Blue Eyes guy, I forgot to tell you guys this, but when I summoned my Union monster, he was like, oh no, that Union monster can only be equipped by this and this and this, and then this one can only be equipped by this. And I read the effect and it said that, so for once he was actually right, but that really, he had to keep saying that over and over. Every time I summoned a Union monster, he had to point out this, 2 words that would change the whole effect of the card, so I was a little annoyed by that, but still, fun duel. And then, when I was dueling against this other Dark Magician guy, when I was stalling, I was defending my life points at the same time and trying to find ways to get rid of Eternal Soul. But after that, I eventually lost on 25th turn. but it was still a fun duel, and he told me that I shouldn't use my Union deck. I should build other decks. So that's what I did that night. But when the tournament was over, the adult won, and he got $40. And then, after that, he won the tournament, and we all were like, GG, GG, and good game, and stuff. And we all started trading, but then I realized, why didn't I bring my, the cards that I don't use in my deck? And, yeah, that was sort of a pain in the butt. I could have traded so much. So, if you're going to your first locals tournament, always bring your card binder, all your decks, calculator. Like, I was surprised they had an app for that, but it was really fun, really experiencing, and after it, they started giving me some free cards and stuff, I saw them all trading, and I saw all their decks and stuff. And then I left, and it was so cool. And then we brought Angel to the dog park. She got obliterated 5 times by this huge dog, but they were just playing. Like, she literally got ran over 5 times. But anyway, when I got to school the next day, I told my friend Luca, who's also a duelist, I went to this tournament and won 2 out of the 9 duels that I had. I got obliterated. And then he started laughing at me and said that he went to his tournament, and a bunch of kids came to that tournament, and he destroyed them. And I was like, it's harder than it sounds. I told him about Eternal Soul and everything, but he said he might want to come to the tournament with me the next time I come, so it's going to be pretty fun. And yesterday I had the tournament. I might tell you guys the story of that maybe later, but I got a card binder. I got all these deck boxes. Like, you can see it right over here. Like, here's a deck I was just trying to build. Here's, like, my binder and stuff. And then here's my special cards, and, like, those are my decks. I didn't have any of these until the second tournament. Like, I was building them over the weekend. I built the Magnet Warrior deck, which I dueled with on the second tournament. It didn't work as well as the Union deck, but it still did good. And then the Dark Magician deck, XZ Synchro, and I recently made the Cubic deck. So if you guys want to see more of this story time stuff, I have plenty of stories to share with you all. They're super crazy, super weird, and yeah. I can share them to you guys if you want, and I'll try and make more videos, like storytime videos, like whenever possible, so just remember that. And if you did like the video, please freeze that like button. And if you mega liked it, please subscribe to become a true Phoenix. If you comment down below, I'll mark you on my True Phoenixes list. And the 4 you will get a shout out every time I hit a milestone of subscribers or views. So, have a fantastic day, people. See you guys in the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. Well, or not. I might get obliterated so hard I might die in real life. So, yeah. Goodbye!